Okay, good morning, children. Yeah, good morning. In the last class, we had discussed about the classification of elements into metals, non-metals, and metalloids, right? So, Tom Sinton, what are the properties of metals?
They are seen on the left side of the periodic table.
Yeah. Then,
They have high melting and boiling point and are good conductors.
good conductors of heat and electricity. Then, what about malleability, ductility?
They are malleable, ductile, and have a metallic luster.
Yeah, metallic luster. Then they are hard, they are sonorous. These all are properties of metals. Then what about non-metals, Malavika?
Non-metals are generally located on the right side of the periodic table.
Yes.
They have a low melting and boiling point. They are brittle,
Yeah.
not malleable, not
Yes.
ductile, and does not possess metallic luster.
Very good. So these are the properties of non-metal. Then which are the non-metals with high melting and boiling points? Emmeline?
Boron and carbon.
Very good. Boron and carbon. Then what are the examples of metalloids, Navaneet?
Silicon, germanium, antimony, tellurium, etc.
Okay, these are the examples of metalloids. Then we have learned certain equations to find out the group number from the electronic configuration, right? So now we are going to do certain examples for each block elements to find out the group number from the electronic configuration. Okay. So do you remember the equations to find out the group number from electronic configuration? Jewel, what about S block? 1 minute, children. Yes. Jewel, S block.
NS raised to X.
Okay. So what about the period number? Sorry, group number.
N is principal quantum number and S is the
Subshell. Okay, then X is the number of electrons. Which number will represent the group number?
X.
Yeah, X. Okay. From S block elements, X is the number of group number. So we can just check. Okay. You know that first and second group, they belongs to S block elements. So we can do one example. Sodium. Sodium. Alanjina, what about the atomic number of sodium?
11.
Yeah, it's 11. And how can we write the electronic configuration? Nimita, can you tell me electronic configuration of sodium?
1.
1. 1s2. Then
2s2.
2s.
Raised to 2.
2s2. Then
2p.
yeah, 2p. Now already 4 electrons filled. Here the atomic number is 11. So there are 11 electrons there. Already 4 electrons filled. So tell me the remaining. Nimita, 2p. Maximum capacity of p subshell, it is 6.
5.
Is it 5? Only 4 electrons filled. Here the atomic number is 11. So how many electrons? P, the maximum capacity of p subshell, it is 6. Just try. 2p5 or 2p6?
2p6.
Yeah, 2p6. Then what about the next one? Already 10 electrons filled. Here the atomic number is 11. So
2p6. 2p6.
then after 2p6, which is the next orbital?
D. O.
No. In the second main shell, only 2 subshells, S and P, right? Then we should move to next main shell, that is 3. So 3s1. Okay, 3s1. Then we learned that group number can be identified by number of electrons in S subshell. So what about the number of electron in S subshell? The last S subshell. Valentina?
1.
Yeah, it's 1. So therefore the group number is 1. Group number is 1. And please check the position of sodium in the periodic table. Is it in group 1? Is it correct or not? Tell me. Yes, it's correct, right? The position of sodium, it's in first group. This is clear, children? You
Should
can
we
do
copy this down?
Yes, yes. Sodium, its atomic number is 11. So you have to remember the number of electrons and number of protons also 11. Then we can write the electronic configuration 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s1. So count the total number of electrons. It is 2 plus 2, that is 4, plus 6, it is 10, plus 1, it is 11, right? Then we learned that the group number can be identified for the S block elements by the number of electrons in the last subshell. Okay, so here the number of electron is 1. So the group number is also 1. Have you completed? Children? Yes, right? Okay, then we can do one more example from this S block. Okay, then about magnesium. Magnesium. Devi Krishna, what about the atomic number of magnesium?
12.
Yeah, it's 12. So tell me the electronic configuration. Yeah, starting from?
1s2,
Yeah, 1s2,
2s2,
2s2,
2p6,
2p6, okay,
3s2.
3s2. So look at the number of electrons in the last main subshell. Here it is 2, right? So we will write the group number as 2. Then please confirm it with the periodic table. What about the position of magnesium? Is it in group 2?
Yes.
Is it correct, children? Yes, right? This is the position of magnesium. This is the first group. Sorry, this is the first group. This is the second group. So we can able to find out the group number for S block elements using this equation X. X means the total number of electrons in the last S subshell. That's it. This is clear? Okay, then we can move to P block elements. Have you completed this one?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you, right? Okay. Okay, then P block. P block. Which is the P block elements? P block elements. Sarah? From which group to which group?
3 to 18.
Yeah, group 13 to group 18. Okay, group 13 to group 18. It belongs to P block elements. Then what about the equation to find out the group number of P block elements, Marine? When we write, it is NPX.
NPX.
Yeah, then which is the equation to find out?
X plus 12.
Very good. X plus 12. This is the equation to find out the group number. Okay, X plus 12. So we can write the example of carbon. It belongs to P block, right? Then Gaia, what about the atomic number of carbon? Yes. We can't hear you. No. Please check your device, okay? Renil, all of you switch on your videos. Renil, can you tell me the atomic number?
Atomic number of
Carbon.
12.
That's mass number, right? Atomic number. Okay, just look at the periodic table and tell me. Renil? Yeah. Hydrogen, it's 1. Helium, it is
Six.
2. Lithium,
Six.
3. Yeah, it's 6. And how can we write the electronic configuration? Renil? Yeah, starting from
2.
1s2, then 1s2. Next one.
Just wait. 2s2
Yeah, 2s2.
and 2p2.
Very good. 2p2. Here the equation to find out the group number x plus 12. This is considered as x and x plus 12. That means 2 plus 12. And the group number is calculated as 14. Okay. Group number is 14. Then you can check the position of carbon in the periodic table. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This one is 13. This one is 14. That's right. Clear? The position of carbon is here. It belongs to 14th group. Okay, 14th group. Have you completed this one? Adulya?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah? Not finished?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you? Yes, okay. The next one, fluorine. Fluorine. What about the atomic number of fluorine? Mary Angelina? Fluorine. Yes. Look at the periodic table and tell me. Yeah. What's the symbol of fluorine? It is F. Now look at the periodic table and tell me. Here is fluorine. Yes. It is 9, right? Starting from hydrogen, it is 1. Helium, it is 2. Lithium, 3. Yeah. Beryllium, 4. Then fluorine, it is 9. Okay, tell me the electronic configuration. Mary Angelina.
Ma'am, 1 is 2.
Okay.
Then 2 is 2. 2p.
2p.
2p2.
Look at the number of electrons here. It is 9. And the maximum capacity of p subshell, it is 6. So tell me. Already 4 electrons filled.
Filled. Yes, ma'am. Then
Which one?
2p5.
Yeah, 2p5. So the total number of electrons 4 plus 5, it is 9, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, then the group number that is equal to. This one is calculated as x. So x plus 12. 5 plus 12. It is 17.
Okay, ma'am.
Please mute your mic, Mary Angelina. Yes. Then look at the position of fluorine in the periodic table. Okay. It belongs to group 17, right? Yes, group 17. So this is the method X plus 12. This is the equation to calculate the group number of P block elements. In each block, it will be different. Okay. In S block, just write the number of electrons in the outermost subshell. Okay. In the case of P block, along with the number of electrons in outermost subshell, we have to add plus 12. Then we can do one more example for D block. Okay. D block. All of you switch on your videos. D block. John, can you tell me, John Joes, what's the equation to calculate the group number?
N S raised to X.
Yeah, nx raised to x, n minus 1 raised to d
Y.
raised to y. Then tell me, what's the equation?
X plus Y.
Yes, very good. X plus y. We have to add the number of electrons in S subshell and D subshell. Okay, S subshell and D subshell. We can just check the example with vanadium. Okay, vanadium, its atomic number is 23. Its atomic number is 23. Shabari, can you tell me the electronic configuration of vanadium?
1s2,
Yeah, 1s2,
2s2,
2s2,
2p6,
2p6,
3s2,
3s2,
3p6,
3p6.
4s2,
Very good. 4s2,
3d3,
3d, 3. You have to always remember the position of this 4s and 3d. Here this 4s has lesser energy compared to 3d. That's why we are writing 4s just before 3d. Okay. After filling 4s electrons, we should move to 3d. So here the number of electrons, it is 23. So 3d, 3. And here the equation just to sum the number of electrons in last two subshells. So here the group number is 2 plus 3. Group number is equal to 2 plus 3. That is equal to 5. And just look at the position of vanadium in the periodic table. Belongs to group 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here is the position of vanadium. Is this clear, children? Yes. Okay, so we can just recall the points related to group number and electronic configuration, which is the equation to find out the number of group number in the case of S block elements. Elaine, can you tell me? Equation to find out the group number of S block elements.
ns raised to x.
Ns raised to x. So what's the number there?
X.
Yeah, x. Then what about the P block elements? John Philip, P block elements.
NPX.
Yeah.
That is X plus 12.
Yeah.
Number
X
of electrons
plus
in
12. Okay, very good. X plus 12. That's the equation to find out the group number of P block elements. Okay. Then Aditya, what about D block elements?
X plus y.
Yeah, X plus Y. That means N minus 1 S raised to X. Then N D raised to Y. And X plus Y. That means the total number of electrons in last two subshells, that is considered as the group number of D block elements. You have to always remember this tip. Okay. It's always useful to find out the group number. Then one more thing, period number, that is the highest principal quantum number of each electronic configuration. Period number, that is equal to highest principal quantum number of each electronic configuration. Do you have any doubt, children? Any doubt? Nothing, right?
No.
Okay. Then we are moving to the next topic, that is periodic trends in properties of elements. Okay. Periodic trends in properties of elements.
Rosmi, you are
Periodic-
taking in the place of major.
Yeah, no, sir, it's chemistry. Yeah, instead of physics, I'm taking chemistry.
Major hasn't come.
Yeah, she's in leave, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, periodic trends in properties of elements. So here we already learned two trends about metallic character and non-metallic character. So can you tell me what about the metallic trend? Niranjan, can you tell me what happens to the metallic properties in the periodic table from left to right? Is it increases
Metallic-
or decreases? Yeah.
Metallic character decreases.
Yes, very good. Metallic character decreases. Metallic character decreases from left to right. I think that we already written. This is one among such trend. Okay. Metallic character decreases from left to right. Then what happens to metallic character from top to bottom?
Increase.
Yeah, metallic character increases. Metallic character increases from top to bottom in a periodic table. Then non-metallic character?
Increases from left to.
Yeah, non-metallic character increases from left to right. These are certain trends in the properties of elements. We will always discuss about. Then atomic radius, that's both ionic radius, covalent radius, etc. Then ionization enthalpy, then electron gain enthalpy, electronegativity. These all are certain trends that followed in the periodic table. Okay. So before that, we can just write the general, we can discuss the general things or general trends in the properties of elements. Compared to all other elements, this group 1 and group 2 elements, they have high reactivity towards chemical reactions. Okay, group 1 and group 2. Can you tell me which are the groups in this category? Group 1 and group 2. What about the name?
Alkaline metals and alkaline.
Yeah, alkaline metals and alkaline earth metals, right? So compared to all other elements, this group 1 and group 2 elements, they have high reactivity towards chemical reactions. Okay, high reactivity towards chemical reaction. Then in the case of periodic table, the middle portion, it consists of transition elements, right? Or transition metals. They have lower reactivity compared to group 1 and 2. That means the reactivity will decreases. Okay, reactivity will decreases. Then again,
Ma'am, will you
Yeah,
repeat it again?
sure. I will write it in the board. Just wait. Have you completed this one? All of you? Yes, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The first point, the chemical reactivity tends to be high in group 1, group 1 and 2. Okay, group 1 and 2. And among these two group 1 has more reactivity. Okay, so chemical reactivity tends to be high in group 1 and 2. Then this reactivity decreases in elements towards the middle of periodic table. Middle of periodic table. Which are the elements there? Transition. Okay, transition elements or transition metals. They are from group 3 to 12. Group 3 to 12. Then again, this reactivity increases to maximum. Maximum in group 17 elements. Can you tell me which is the group 17? Group 17? Yeah, Jewel? Yeah, halogens. Okay. Halogens, they belongs to group 17. So chemical reactivity tends to be in high in group 1 and 2, especially in 1, it is more compared to 2. Okay. Then the reactivity will decreases in elements towards the middle portion of the periodic table. That's with transition elements. Okay. Then reactivity again increases to maximum in P block elements, especially in the case of group 17 halogens, they have higher reactivity. So group 1 and group 17, they have higher reactivity. Clear? This is clear, children? Yes. Okay.
Ma'am, can you repeat the last? Ma'am, can you repeat?
Yes, sure. The chemical reactivity it has high in group 1. Okay. Just look at the periodic table. Then, yes, this is group 1, right? This one is group 1. Here the reactivity is high. Okay, high reactivity. Then group 2 also reactivity there. Then from this 3 to 12, the reactivity decreases. Okay, reactivity decreases. Again, it is increases and maximum shows in group 17. Clear? The group 1 has the most reactivity. Then the reactivity will decreases in the middle portion of this periodic table. Then again, it increases to maximum in group 17. And in the case of noble gases, you have to remember the point. They are completely filled electrons, right? They are completely filled electronic configuration. So they did not take part in any chemical reaction. Okay. That's why they are known as noble gases or inert gases. That point we already discussed. Do you remember that one? It is known as, yeah, inert gases or noble gases because they have completely filled outer electronic configuration. So they did not take part in any chemical reaction. They are already stable. All other elements, they take part in chemical reaction to get stability. That means they will gain electrons or accept electrons or share electrons through chemical reactions. So you have to remember this group 1 and group 17, they have most reactivity. This is clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Sarah, can you please read the slide? Yes.
The chemical reactivity tends to be high in the group of 1 and 2.
Yeah.
The reactivity decreases in the element towards the middle and the periodic table transition element. The reactive increase to the maximum in the group of 17th element.
Yeah, group 17 elements, they are known as halogens. They are known as halogens. Finished, right? Then in
Yes,
this
ma'am.
group, yeah, group 1 elements itself, the reactivity, it increases from moving down the group. Okay, we already learned that this group 1 has the most reactivity, and in this group 1 itself, there are different elements from top to bottom, right? When we are moving from top to bottom, this reactivity also increases. So you can write there in alkali metals, the reactivity increases on moving down the group. On moving down the group. Alkali metals means group 1. Okay, group 1. And can you tell me, is this alkali metals electropositive or electronegative? Yeah, anyone? Electropositive or electronegative? Group 1.
Electropositive.
Yeah, electropositive, because they always give 1 electron. I told you they are donating electrons. So they are considered as positive. They are electropositive in nature. Then we learned that this halogens, they are also highly reactive groups, right? Halogens, they are also highly reactive groups. In the case of halogens or the group 17, in halogens or group 17, this reactivity decreases on moving down the group. Okay, this reactivity decreases on moving down the group. Yes. So these two groups, alkali metals and halogens, both are most reactive metals. But in the case of alkali metals, this reactivity, it increases on moving down the group. And in the case of halogens, this reactivity decreases on moving down the group. That's it. Jeez, can you please read the points?
In alkaline metal, reactivity increases on moving down the group.
Yeah.
In halogen group 17, reactivity decreases on moving down the group.
Okay, then we can find out which is the most reactive element in group 1. Just look at the periodic table and tell me. We learned that group 1, they are alkali metals. Their reactivity increases on moving down the group. So look at the periodic table and tell me which is the most reactive element in this group 1. Niranjan, can you tell me? In alkali metal.
Yeah.
Which is the last one? Just tell me the symbol.
F1.
Yeah, which one? FR, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, it is known as francium. Okay,
Yeah.
francium. It is the last one in this group 1 elements. That's okay. But we are considering this one, cesium. Okay, according to the trend, this reactivity will be increases on moving down the group. And according to that rule, francium is the last one. But it is not much reactive. It's an exceptional case. So we are taking the cesium. Okay, cesium. It has the most reactivity in first group, cesium. And its symbol is CS. First letter should be capital and the second should be small letter, CS. Cesium, it is the highest reactive element. Highest reactive element. Cesium.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
can you say what is it again?
Your voice is not audible. Yeah, Sarah, once again.
Ma'am, can you say what is it before again?
What is?
Ma'am, can you repeat?
Yes. Among this alkali metals, that means the first group, the reactivity increases on moving down the group. That means the bottom portion has the most reactivity. And in this group 1, francium, it is the last one, right? So francium is considered as the most reactive element. But in the case of this francium, Fr, it is not much reactive. It's an exceptional case. So we are leaving this francium. Then we are taking cesium. It is the highest reactive element in this group 1 or alkali metals. That's it. Then again, we can find out the most reactive element from halogens. Halogens, it is group 17. So we learned that the reactivity, it decreases on moving down the group, right? It decreases on moving down the group. So Naureen, can you tell me which is the most reactive element in halogens? This group 17, right? Yes. Which one?
Fluorine.
Very good. It's fluorine. It's fluorine. Sorry, children. Fluorine. And its symbol is F. This is the highest reactive element in halogen. This one is electropositive nature and the other one is electronegative. Electropositive and electronegative. Electropositive means they will donate electrons. Electronegative means they will accept electrons on chemical reactions. Is this clear? Any doubt, children? Nothing, right? Okay. So we just discussed about the periodic trends in properties of elements. First thing about the reactivity, which is the most reactive group. Rose, which is the most reactive group in the periodic table? Yeah.
Group 1.
Yes, group 1. Then what about group 17? It's also reactive, right? This group 1 and group 17, they are the most reactive groups. Okay. And in the case of transition metals, they have the lowest reactivity compared to group 1 and group 17. And what happens to the reactivity on moving down the group in alkali metals? Eva, alkali metals, does it increases or decreases? Chemical reactivity.
Ma'am, on moving down, it increases.
Increases, right? Okay. Then unless what happens to the chemical reactivity in group 17 on moving down the group? Is it increases or decreases? Unless.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
It decreases moving down the group.
Okay. In halogens, it decreases, right? So in halogens, which is the most reactive element, Marine?
Fluorine.
Yeah, fluorine. Okay, then there are certain periodic trends. I told you atomic radius, ionic radius, ionization enthalpy, electron gain enthalpy, electronegativity. These all are certain periodic trends that we can discuss in the next class, one by one. Okay, there's one more class today, right? So we can discuss, yes, we can discuss about the remaining things in the next class. So let me take your attendance, just wait. All of you switch on your videos. Okay, thank you, children. Then see you in the next class. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.